Right, you've seen the pictures now. Crack on, get it done. I'm only joking. Let's go up and see my brother, the guru, up at the plots. He'll show you what to do. But yeah, if you like it, please comment, like, subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, don't forget to hit that all button, the bell notification button, so you don't miss any more fun, japes and trickery down in Eden on the Little Farmer's Farm. All right, boys and girls, see you in a bit. Hello, good evening and welcome to the Little Farmer's Farm with me. Before we start, I would like to suggest that you make a note of this. A little dirt never hurt. A little dirt never hurt. A great gardening and growing channel, Ryan from Canada. Go over and see him after this and tell him that the guru said hi. You won't be disappointed. If you like me, you'll love Ryan. So please check him out. A little dirt never hurt. The link will be in the description below. All right, boys and girls, he's back, and I'm glad. Good morning, boys and girls. We're going to be doing some more paving, some more flagging today. But I thought I'd just quickly go over something that's quite important when you're moving heavy loads and heavy weights around, and that's manual handling. Musculoskeletal disorders and injuries are no joke. So we'll just go through that for a moment or two first of all. These paving slabs are quite dense and very heavy. They weigh about 25 kilograms, which is about 55 pounds in weight, each one of them. Now, although your average bloke can probably lift and carry them, it's not a good idea, really, especially if you've got quite a few of them to shift. They do tend to wear you out quite quickly if you're trying to shift and carry these. I'm not just saying bloke. There's some strong ladies out there, I know. It's quite sexist, that, weren't it? Anyway, I'm a weakling and a physical incompetent, so I'm going to be putting these two at a time into here. This is rated for 150 pounds in weight. You can carry 150 pounds in weight in that. So two of those is 100, and these sacks here, I think they're about 20 kilograms or something like that. Does it say? They feel like they're about 20 kilograms, something like that, when filled. So two of those and one of them, maybe even two of them actually. I'll get two on there. But putting it in a stable wheelbarrow like that, that's a double wheelbarrow, and I like it very much, even though the end caps come off and you've got to sort of fix them up every now and again to keep the wheels on it. I've had that now for 2 years and it's done me good. That £40 at B&Q if you can still get them. So yeah, two at a time going into the wheelbarrow. Then you've got your sharp sand. I'm going to put two on top of that, and that should be just about right for me to push up the gentle slope without hurting myself. What you want to be doing is having the barrow close enough to the car so that you're not having to move about. You don't have to shift your footing when you're lifting them out and putting them into the barrow, but not too close so that you've not got enough room to manoeuvre, if you like. But you want to make that distance as short as possible from the vehicle into the transportation device, the plot transportation device, which is that. All right. Okay, so we're going to be continuing our paving along this path. So this area between the end flag here and up here, that's coming out, by the way, where it joins this other path at the top. You can just about make it out there, can't you? That's the gap that we're going to be filling with those flags. And so because of that, we want to get the materials, the heavy building materials, i.e. flags and sand, quite close to where we're working. So we'll bring them up in the barrow, put them reasonably close to where we're working, so you're minimising the amount of physical transportation of the materials, or i.e. lifting and carrying, that you're going to be doing. So I'm going to be bringing the rest of the sand and putting it at the side here. The flags are just behind me there, and so yeah, I don't have to keep moving about. The least physical lifting and carrying you can do, the better. So get it all near to where you're working, so you don't have to keep running up and down and straining your back and your legs and your knees and your wrists and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So we've got our 6 new flags there that we're going to be laying. Got the sand up to the top, so it's close to where I'm going to be working. Now all I've done is I've sort of levelled off the ground, roughly levelled it off basically, the ground. Get the roots out, the weeds out, get them out of your way. Have a root through and see if you can find any stones, these little stones, because you don't want them underneath your flags. What I will be doing now is I'm going to be roughing up the soil using my tiller, a tiller. So a tiller, the Hun's going to be on the job. Can't do it with one hand, but that's the principle of it. Get stuck into it with 2 hands and that will roughen up the soil and break it up. Bring any little stones to the surface that you can pick out. And then, like that one. Well, these 2 really stones, see. Stones underneath your flags will make it very difficult to bed it down flat. You'll always get that wobble because of the stone underneath. So you break up the soil and then you put your layer of sand on. And then you can get a good firm and stable bed for your flags. Any roots and things that you find, you can pull those out. Now, because the wise old elf is the wise old elf, and he suggested that we put a weed membrane underneath. I would have put a weed membrane under, but for the fact that I didn't have any weed membrane. But I've just discovered some. So I'm going to put the weed membrane underneath that as well. Once that's all roughed up and roughly flattened out again and the stones are gone, the weed membrane will go on, then the layer of sand, and then the flags. But first, I think, because I'm a bit knackered after carting all those about, we'll have a cup of tea. There's nothing like the smell when you've just opened a fresh pot of coffee. Ah, it's lovely, isn't it? Right, I'm going to get the brew made. Here's the weed membrane that I found. Now each one of these green lines is 6 inches apart. So that's 6, 12, 16, sorry, 6, 12, 18, 24. And then we've got that like probably 2 inches at the side there. So what I'm going to do, because the 2 foot flags, I want them to be a little bit wider than the actual flags themselves. So I'm going to follow that line all the way down, cutting it out with these Exhibit A. And then we've got the width of the path, and then however long we've got of this. I found this in the shed. I didn't think I had any weed membrane, that's why I didn't put it under the first lot. When the weeds do pop up, it gives you something to do, doesn't it? Scrape them out. But with that underneath, it should certainly suppress the weeds. So we're going to put a layer of that on top of the soil, and then, as I say, the sand's going to go on top of that before the flags get laid. Wouldn't you know it, hey? Rain in Greater Manchester. Unheard of. Anyway, let's crack on. Anyway, we've got some weed membrane that I've just cut, as I say, just wider than the flags there. I'm going to be stapling that with those fabric staples to the edge there, and just completely filling that path with weed membrane before we put the sand on. So I'm going to be knocking them in with a rubber hammer, and we're going to get it laid relatively flatly and along the length. Okay, so now that that's pegged down, you can see that the line has had to come out a little bit. That's because the tiki tunnel sticks out further than the beds do, and it's following the beds up. If that was 2-3 inches that way, it'd be a perfect straight line. But what we're going to have to do is come up probably to about here, and then kink it out an inch that way, 1.5 inches that way, so the flags will actually move over. It won't be a perfectly straight line, but it's an allotment plot. What can you do, right? We couldn't go that way because the actual pavers are in the correct position for all the beds going down there. So we would have either have had to move it there across or here across. So whichever way the cat jumped, we would need to have a jig going that way by a couple of inches probably, so that we can miss this and continue on up. It'll probably follow the line of the base of the tiki tunnel, but it's not worth crying over, is it? Hey, it's an allotment plot. Okay, Then we put a bed of sand on the top, ridged up slightly towards the previous flag. Then we'll get one of those flags, get its edge so it aligns with the edge of that one, stood up, and then we slowly lower then onto the bed and give it a stomp down. But you've got to make sure that your sand that you've put down for your bed is a good sort of third the way up the preceding flag, because you need to be able to stomp it down. You don't want the sand to be lower than the depth of the pave that you're going to be doing. It's got to be higher than the depth of the pave that you're going to be doing, so you have that room to manoeuvre when you're jumping onto it and flattening it out. Right, I don't like using this tripod outdoors because it's an expensive camera, this, and there's a bit of wind about. It's not the most stable of tripods, but for you, I'll do it. So we get our flag, which is dimple side down. We want the dimple side facing where we're going to be laying it. Get it right on the edge of the previous flag, the previous pave. Right on the edge. And then we lower it down. Make sure that's right. Then we can just lower it down then. Slowly, carefully, bend your knees like that. Now that stands up a bit proud, as you can see. You might not be able to see, but what we will do is stomp it down and keep stomping it down until it's level with the last flag. And you can see by eye where it needs to go down further. It needs to go down further there. So we'll stomp it down. So that feels to me like it needs a bit of sand packing underneath there, but we'll get this pretty much straight. To the other one. And then I'll pack underneath there. I'll pack sand underneath there, because it wants to come up a touch there. That's right, that. That's fine, that. I'll pack more underneath there firmly. So I'll use my rubber hammer. Where is it? Here. Just check the gap. That looks okay. You can kick it in if you want. If you want to hurt your toes. Pack that in. Once we refill this side here with the aggregate, which is going to be pea gravel, that'll hold that firmly in place all down that side of the trench there with no issues at all. Yeah, that looks alright to me, that. No lips. So there's no lips between the two flags. It's flat. You're avoiding your trip hazards. The job's a good one. Continue on then. We'll get a couple more in. And looking at that, I don't think we're going to be lucky enough for the flags to miss the end of this. But we're not going to be far away, I don't think. It's going to come out about half an inch further that way. So yeah, I'll pack the sand under where there is the gaps. Get some more sand and pack it in, just to keep that level, stop that wobble. You can feel when you're walking on it where the wobbles are. You just got to make sure you get rid of those wobbles. Wobbly bits. Oh, if I done with me, goody rubber hammer. There it is. We want to go down a little bit there. Keep checking it. Need some more sand to pack under. You know, those first 5 flags went in with absolutely no issues whatsoever. Because you're watching me, innit? Just having a whittle about. That's fine. No wobbles now. Good stuff. Top banana. All you got to do is keep checking that it's going level. It's going level along that plane all the way down. We're coming uphill, so we can't get it to be level going this way. Here's the DEA. DEA's got a chopper in the air, wake up screaming like I'm back over there. Well, that's fair enough, it's coming up. We've got the slope there going down, we can't get it level going that way, as I say, but we keep it relatively level along that plane. That's what you want. Alright, we'll get some more sand in. I'm going to change things up a little bit. I've got that red pave over there. I'm going to put the red paving stone into the paving slab, but I'm just going to get some sand in to the gap. Once that's all evened out, I'll rake it with the back of the rake so as it's flat, and as I say, it'll go about a third the way up the preceding flag is the level of sand that I'm going to do, about a third the way up the depth of the preceding flag. Put that all nice and flat as I can. I'll use that spirit level to get it reasonably flat, and then you're reducing your amount of mess about time jumping up and down on flags, aren't you? But yeah, I thought I'll just change it up a little bit. I have measured that to make sure that it's 60 centimetres square, in the same way that these are 60 centimetres square. It's like the metric 2 feet, which is just short of 2 feet. Yeah, that's the next one that's going to be going in. Yeah, so raked it flat, back of the rake, get it reasonably smooth, and then gently tamped it down then with the rake, like this. Just take your time, you know, get it reasonably flat, and then because you've got the third coverage of sand that's going up the preceding flag by about a third, you've got some riddle room then to jump on it and to flatten it out properly so that they all follow on. Okay, so I'm going to get that red one in there now. Okay, you might not be able to see that, but we are going to have to come across this way, but not by much, probably about ½ an inch, just to miss the tiki hut, which is a bit disappointing, isn't it? Would have been nice to get it all nice and straight and perfectly flat against that, but it's not going to do it. It's going to be it's probably less than ½ an inch, but that ½ an inch will need to be addressed, won't it? So anyway, I'm going to knock the next flag that way a little bit, but first of all I'm going to fold the membrane back and clear underneath this path, because I only made space really with the clearing and the levelling of the ground for the first couple. So I'm going to do that and continue on with that. Yeah, so get rid of all this weed down here and continuing on to about here. It's going to fall about there. That measures out about 10 feet. It'll fall about there, which is kind of right really, because we've got this other paving that goes that way. We've got bricks and stuff there, so if it does land there, that'll be ideal really. It's the perfect weather now for flagging. Just checking as we're going, making sure we're still okay. level. I've pinned down the weed membrane. I'm going to try and move. I'm going to have to move one of the flags slightly that way, but I don't want to move it too much. I only want it to be the bare minimum that I can get away with, because I want them flags running up to where the baseboard is, as close to the baseboard as I can, where the tiki tunnel is at the side. So anyway, we'll crack on. We'll get some more. As I say, I levelled it all off, got rid of the weeds, as you can see from down the sides, put the weed membrane down and pinned it with the fabric pins. I'm just going to continue on then with the sand. I'll get about 3 more flags in, then I'll have a cup of coffee with Joe. You know, the good Lord, he smiles upon the righteous. I was moaning before that it was raining. Said a little prayer. He answered the prayer, and he's also moved the tiki tunnel an inch that way. Thank you, Lord. You're a good man. Now then, Joe the wise old elf lent us Nazgir, the mighty elven hammer, which is a gigantic rubber hammer used for flagging. But unfortunately, we were using human paving slabs, and the mighty Thor's hammer of the elves completely shattered one of my flags, one of my paving slabs. Thanks for the offer though, Joe. I tried it. So I'm using the double-footed technique from now on, but the problem is now that we're missing one of those flags. Those flags, by the way, are only 23 inches. Or just over, because they're in metric, and I measured out that last bit in feet. So the flags that we've used have actually dropped us back about 8 inches. So they're not going to complete the full run of that, so I'll be filling it with something else in a little bit. But anyway, we'll crack on. See you in a bit. So yeah, it's a little expedition to Wicks. Alright. So these are the ones that we're getting. I'm a bit muffled at the moment because I've got my mask on. But those are the flags, and you can see there, they're supposedly anyway, £17.50 a piece, but they're a fiver, they're on offer. Those are the flags. Anyway, I only wanted one more. That's knackered, that one. I only wanted one more. You've got to be watchful for any chips and what have you. There's a chip there, not there. But the ones that I've got, I check them all first of all. These are £1.60 a bag, and then I only want one flag because Thor's hammer of the elves, has broken one. But yeah, £5 each there. So altogether we'd have spent about 75 quid on flags. Will we? Maybe. I'll work it out when we get back to Eden. Yeah, messed your glasses up, doesn't it? These masks. Ridiculous, I know, but you've got to wear them, haven't you? Okay. Now I've got the last bit there. I'll need filling in with pea gravel or something, because that piece of flag is too wide to fit. I've just had a look now, and it's too wide. It's 13 inches, and that's only about 9 inches. And you've got the concrete path going that way, so I can't do anything about that. I'll have to do a bit of a sand and cement mix with pea gravel in it to finish that off, which is fine, and it doesn't matter, does it? It's right, isn't it? I'll just trim off the rest of that weed membrane, and I'll get the sand on. Just going to sand in between all the cracks. Okay, so what we're basically doing is where the joints are, we're gonna grout it. Oh, it's wrecking the place now. Gonna grout it, so put the sand in the joints and just brush it in, brush the sand in. I fill these up as well, these side bits up. Fill the gap. Oh, difficult to do one-handed this, because I'm looking at what I'm doing. I'm trying to look where the camera's picking up the image, if you like. Could do with a glamorous assistant. Get Chrissy down. Chrissy from London, Ontario. She'd help out. Wouldn't you, Chrissy? Comment below, honey. Right, let's get this in. We're going to be doing that all the way down there, filling the gaps. Okay. Now for me, boys and girls, that is more than adequate for a morning's work on an allotment plot. I'll say just filling any gaps there with the sand. The flags meet the board there as well on the way into the tiki tunnel, and they're the same. There's no lip there either. The same. Easy as pie. Just take your time, check your levels so that you know it's all hunky-dory, fine and dandy. Job's a good one. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. Yeah, make sure the bubble's right. The water will flow off in that direction because it's going downhill. If it was a flat surface, you would want a degree or two to get some runoff, because otherwise you'll get pooling water. It'll become slippy and slidey and full of all kinds of verdigris. So you would want a slight camber going that way. Very, very slight. But because we've got that runoff going down the plots, that's going to be fine. There we go. Just give them a bit of a rinse off with a watering can at the top there, just to get rid of the muddy bits from the top, from the surface of the flags, and so you can see the colour better. That's the red one that I put in. Looks nice, doesn't it? Like a marbly sort of an effect. Reconstituted marble or whatever. But they're not slippy. They are very grippy. When the rain comes down, it'll keep it nice. Well, heavy rain, I would guess, would keep it sort of a washed off state. But we'll give them a scrub with a scrubbing brush, the yard brush, every now and again. I've got to make these look a bit shabby now, though, doesn't it, down here? So there's a couple that need to be replaced. I may well get some more of these. With them only being a fiver, that's not bad at all, that price-wise. That's really cheap. For 600mm square flags, that's really cheap, that. So I may well get some more of those. I may well get some more. Another 10 or something. But yeah, looking good. Like it. Okay, if you do like what we're doing, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, hit the bell notification one. That's the one that's like that, and it's got all at the side of it. No, it's not. It's not like that at all. It's a bell. It's a bell. You click on the bell, and then it's got options, and you just click on all, so you don't miss another exciting episode. Yeah, so it's 12 paving slabs, 60 centimetres square, or 600mm square. Paving slabs at £5 each, so that comes to £60, and we've spent 20 quid on the sand as well, so it's £80 altogether, plus the weed membrane. You can call that, we'll call it 85 altogether, 85 quid. It's not gonna be that, it's probably gonna be less than that. Those ground staples, the fabric staples that we got, they were only £1 for 20, so and I've got a couple of them left over. Call it £85. 85 quid for this path. Alright, down on the little farm with me, Guru Murphinda, aka Tony. Okay, right. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm not just a fantastic lover, me, I can flag as well. So yeah, job's a good one. We'll catch you next time. Like I say, it's Wednesday today. I've got a day off. I work Monday, Tuesday this week. I've got today off. I'm working again tomorrow, Thursday. And then Friday, Saturday and Sunday off. How good's that? I could do with 4 days actually, at the rate that I'm on at the moment with Mark. But we just don't have the work. We do have the work. We have the potentiality for the work. We have the potentiality for 6 days a week. But unfortunately, because of the lockdown restrictions and all of that, and the COVID-19 carry on, we we can't get the gaffers in. We can't get the people in for the training. I'm going to be doing training courses at Mark's facility. But unfortunately, we just don't have the people coming in through the door. They're not allowed in at the moment. So that should all change in December and start picking up December, January, and so forth. But we have got money. Yeah, I've been paid out with my redundancy money, so I'm all right. Don't worry. Don't be sending us food parcels or anything. I could do with losing about 2 stone. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that, boys and girls, and you know how to do a flagged path now, a paved path. And I'll catch you later on. Keep growing with your heads down. If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window. This is Murphinda signing out. And remember, we love you all. You're beautiful, fragrant, and fabulous if you're a lady. You're strong, forthright, and masculine if you're a gentleman. And if you're something in between, you're something in between. All right, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye, boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls, hope you enjoyed that and you can use the hints and tips and create your own paths. Don't forget to comment, like and subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and also don't forget to go over and see my little friend, my favourite Canuck, Ryan, at A Little Dirt Never Hurt. A Little Dirt Never Hurt. All the descriptions and the links and everything are going to be in the description box below. Please go and check him out. He's a top banana and I'm sure you'll like him and love him in the way that we do. Alright, thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye bye, folks. Bye now.